So you're looking at moving into Bellingham, or you're already here, you want to know more about the area. Well, this is the Living in Bellingham YouTube channel. My name is Aldo, local realtor, and I want to talk about the 3 things that I absolutely love about Bellingham and our surrounding area. So the number 1 thing that I like about our area is location. And yes, you hear it all the time. Location, location, location. And in one of my last videos, I did talk about where we're located. As many of you know by now, Bellingham is in the northwest corner of the country, and we're 30 minutes south of the Canadian border. But what do I mean by location? So in my last videos, I did talk about we are located right between 2 major metropolitan cities. Obviously, we have Vancouver, British Columbia to the north, and then we have Seattle to the south. So we have 2 great big cities. Bellingham is a smaller area. Population in our whole county about 200,000. Bellingham just under 100,000. So if you're looking for a lot to do, you have 2 great destinations that you want to go to. So speaking of Canada, it takes about 45 minutes to get into downtown Vancouver, and there's so much to do there. You have the aquarium, you have a zoo. They actually have 2 zoos. You have dining, you have adventure, walking. It's right on the water, and there's a lot of great shopping there as well. One of the things that my family likes to go do is go up into Whistler. So Whistler is about 3 hours away from Bellingham, and that's also including the border wait. So if you're wanting to go out, and you can do so much stuff in Whistler, you have skiing, snowboarding, a lot of snowmobiling, a lot of great things, and the village in downtown Whistler is amazing. But if you want to go in there in summertime, which we actually prefer to go do, you have zip lining, you have hiking, you have walking, there's a bunch of great lakes, you have helicopter rides, and there's just great hiking. You can go up into the gondolas and go up into Whistler, and it has so much fun things to do up there. Again, if you want to go into the downtown, huge amount of things that you can do there as well. Now, another great thing that we love to do from Bellingham, if we want to get away from Bellingham, because again, it's a small area, so there is a lot of great things to do here locally, but there's also a lot more outside of Bellingham. And one of another great thing that we love to go do is going into Leavenworth, Washington. So Leavenworth is about a 3-hour drive, maybe 3.5-hour drive or so in the winter time, because it can get a little nasty going over the pass, but it's right over the Cascades, and it is a beautiful drive. Leavenworth is a lot smaller than Seattle and Vancouver, but it's a small Bavarian village, and everything looks just like an old German town, which is super cool. Even the Starbucks has this great little outlook, and just the way it's situated and the way it looks, it's awesome. There's so much to do there. Again, a lot of outdoor activities, and you're gonna be able to find a lot of great food, and it's small, it's quaint. We usually go there in the wintertime, and you can find, again, you know, more skiing, more snowboarding. You can do sleigh rides, you can do reindeer farms, which is really neat. And there's just, the whole village is lit up during Christmas time. If you don't even move to Bellingham, this is one place that I highly recommend that you just go and visit around Christmas time, because they do have amazing downtown. It is beautiful. It's literally your winter wonderland. And if you've ever been to the Post Hotel, it's a bit pricey, but it's definitely worth it. So if you want to get a parents' weekend away, Post Hotel is definitely the spot. It's mainly a huge spa and sauna place, which is awesome. So if you are thinking about going into Seattle, we don't go there very much, and just because there's a lot of traffic getting into Seattle. But if you do go there, it's great, because if you want to travel down to Seattle, you can hit up Tulalip, which is the outlet mall. So you have some great shopping. There's Alderwood that has a great mall as well. And then once you get closer into Seattle, of course, you can go into Bellevue or go more into downtown Seattle, which you're gonna have a lot of great things to do. Go to the Mariners games, go to the Seahawks games, go visit our new hockey team, the Kraken. And then you also have Pike Place. You'll be right on the water. There's great dining, there's eating, there's just so much to do. Downtown has gotten a lot better, but still, if you're looking for that adventure of having something where you have to go, or if you want to go into the city and feel like there's a lot more people in this world instead of just being in our smaller area here in Bellingham, Seattle definitely has it all. Now, also what I want to mention is the location that we have is we have 3 great airports, and a lot of people that have moved here sometimes have to travel for work. The clients that I have helped, they need to go and travel. So if you're trying to travel international, go to Vancouver. Again, 45 minutes, maybe an hour to get to Vancouver. They have amazing flights. The airport is really big, and it's way better than going to SeaTac. If you're going more a little bit just within the country, Bellingham does have an international airport, but you only get flights to like Vegas, San Diego, maybe Denver, some of those things. Allegiant flies out of there. Southwest did, but not so much anymore. One of my favorite places to fly out of is the Everett Airport. It's super nice. nice, very bougie. Alaska is the main airlines that goes out of there, but you can go to places everywhere in California, Colorado, Vegas, Texas, a lot of more of those West Coast sort of flights, which is a really nice airport. They very rarely have a lot of people there. Clean airport. It's not very big, but it's super nice. And then, yes, of course, if you need to fly out of SeaTac, which is right past Seattle, you go to SeaTac. The only problem is you can hit 3 different areas that might have a lot of traffic, but SeaTac definitely is a big airport. They're renovating the entire thing right now, so hopefully it should be way nicer than it is. Parking is great, but just getting through essentially Everett, Linwood, and Seattle, those 3 cities to get to the airport, it could be maybe a 3-hour, 3.5-hour drive, depending what time your flight is out, but usually you can make it there in about 2 hours and 20 minutes or so. So I want to mention here before we go to reason number 2 is, guys, I make these videos for you, the people who are looking at moving here to the area. If you're looking at buying a house here in Bellingham, whether you're living here now or you're moving here in the future in our surrounding area, I want to do these videos because I want to help people just like you who are thinking about moving here, who want to buy a house here, guys. So please, if you like this video, like and subscribe. All my information will be down below as well, so reach out to me, and we'd love to set up a meeting so we can get a little bit more information on what exactly you're looking for and your timeline on moving to Bellingham. All right, reason number 2, what I love about Bellingham is essentially how family friendly and dog friendly Bellingham and the whole entire county is. Now, I have 3 small kids. Not everybody that lives in Bellingham obviously has kids, but a lot of them also do have dogs. And we do have a big population of millennials in the Bellingham area and a lot of people who are retiring. Now, keep an eye out for a video here in a couple of weeks where I will talk about what it's like to retire here in Bellingham, which is great. It's taken me a little bit longer to do it, but I think it'll be a good one. But I wanted to talk more about what I mean about how family friendly it is. There's a lot of people that have been moving into the area, and I think one misconception that a lot of people think of when they move to a small town is, man, I'm not gonna fit in, or it's gonna be really hard to find friends or make friends, and what is there and how are the people there? And what I love about having small children here in our area is that you're moving away from the big city, and there's just a lot of small hubs that are very family friendly, including the restaurants and the pubs and the bars and a lot of things to do outside. Now, for those of you guys that are moving here, I want you to know a lot of my friends that I've made here that I'm closest with right now currently in my stage of life, I have made because I've had kids. I've met them at sports events, I've met them at breweries, or I've met them in school. So a lot of my closest friends I'm actually making because of my kids. So if you're worried about making friends and you have small kids, don't worry about that because you're gonna make friends. People are super nice here. People always talk about the Seattle freeze. I can understand where you are coming from. The Seattle freeze is a lot of people think it's a lot of tight-knit groups and it's hard to get into those groups. Now, I don't think we have that so much in Bellingham. In Seattle, I have heard that a lot, but Bellingham, it depends. And you're gonna have to put in some effort, right? You can't just go and be with your kids. You have to go introduce yourself, go to pubs. Now, if you don't have kids, don't worry. There's so many activities for everybody, right? There's running clubs, biking clubs, swimming clubs, kayaking clubs. You're not gonna have a problem. In Bellingham, Whatcom County, there's a lot of Facebook groups that are moms of Bellinghams or moms of Lindens. All these groups that you're gonna be able to enter, get a lot of feedback, meet new people, or just get advice on being parents here. People are selling things, people are buying things, so I wouldn't really worry about that. Now, let's get into going to breweries. Everywhere you go, besides like an actual bar, you're gonna be able to bring in your kids, which is gonna be great. So if you go to Stemma, or you go to Twin Sisters, or if you go into a lot of these pubs or breweries like Overflow Taps or other ones, you're gonna be able to go and sit down with your kids, have a beer, have pizza, have a burger, whatever it may be, and just hang out and relax and be able to be with your kids other than just trying to find a sitter and saying, hey, I'm trying to go meet some friends here, but they don't allow kids. Very rarely do you find that. And again, you'll only find that in actual bars, which is a 21 and older. It's really family friendly here, which is great. A lot of restaurants also know that, hey, there's a bunch of kids in this area, and I wouldn't really be afraid of going out to dinner with my kids. We love doing it, especially in the summertime. Everywhere will have outdoor seating. If it doesn't have outdoor seating, we usually don't go because our kids are quite messy, but it's also nice to be outside and covered. So with Bellingham being a slower pace, it's really nice because there's gonna be a lot of parks. We have some great parks here. So we have Cordata Park, which is the newest park. It just expanded, new pickleball, basketball courts, and it's just phenomenal. We have Squalicum Park, which is great. We have, I would say, arguably one of the best parks in Whatcom County could be in Linden, which is Bender Fields. You'll have a huge park, baseball fields, soccer fields, pickleball pickleball courts. I mean, place to walk, run. It's really, really great. Now, you're gonna have a lot more to do out there. We have a little museum. We have a little small little like touch hands aquarium here in Bellingham. Again, you can go pretty much everywhere and anywhere with your kids or without kids, and especially with your dog. There's a lot of dog friendly places here, so don't be afraid if you do have an animal. All right, let's talk about our third reason. It's probably my most favorite reason, and that is that Bellingham and Whatcom County is situated right on the water. And a lot of you that are coming from the West Coast or the East Coast that are on the water know exactly what I mean. Just by being next to the water, it brings you this feeling, this happiness, this joy. So it doesn't matter if it's a cloudy, dark day or if it's rainy, or even if there's so much sun out into the daytime, that the water, for whatever reason, just brings you some sort of calmness and happiness and joy. Now, it's not just Bellingham Bay or Birch Bay or any of the ocean parts that make it amazing, but there's 3 lakes that surround us here in Bellingham and Whatcom County. So if you have a house and you own one and you live right on Lake Whatcom, beautiful views. You actually sit up quite a bit higher. If you're even a little bit higher than the lake and you live off of Academy or a little bit up higher and you look down at the lake, you'll actually have some phenomenal views of the lake and of Bellingham Bay. And then we also have Samish, Lake Samish. You also have houses that surround that whole entire lake. So just by living there and being there, and there's something about waking up at 6 a.m. and having the water being just completely flat and looking like glass, it's so amazing. And for those of you that aren't able to go to or live on some of these lakes, you get to go and still walk around Lake Whatcom. You can still go even to Lake Paddon, which is our 3rd lake here, and go and walk around it and just have some sense of amazing energy, really. I know it sounds hippity-dippity, but there's just something about that. Now, the other thing I love about being around the water is that if there's any restaurants or anything that's on the water, it's not gonna cost you a leg and an arm just to go and dine there. You go to Seattle and sometimes you even go into Vancouver and you're spending $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 just to be able to look at the water or to just be on the water. And some of these places here in Bellingham, now if you're moving here from a larger city, you're gonna think that our food is cheap. And if you're moving for more of a rural area, you're gonna think that it's pretty pricey. But one of our favorite places to go is Keenan's at the Pier. You get to sit right on the water, you're looking at the boardwalk, and you're able to have a nice dinner, good drinks, and just have a great vibe. And there's other places like the Black Cat, or if you go to some more restaurants and you're looking out into the pier, you're not gonna be spending so much money. There's some places that you're gonna spend maybe 20 bucks a dish, or there's gonna be some places, yeah, maybe 30, 35 bucks. Some of you are laughing because you're saying, what, that you think that's expensive? Again, we're in a small area, yes. And to some of you, those are gonna be really expensive, but you're able to go to these places and you're able to go down to the boardwalk in Bellingham. You get to walk along that entire boardwalk on Boulevard, and there was just something very special about the water situation here in our area. And we're on the northwest corner of the States, and we're probably the least expensive anywhere on the West Coast that you can go and enjoy the view, enjoy the walk, enjoy the food, the drinks, and just have a great sense of environment that is around you. So that is probably one of my favorite things, because it doesn't matter if you're up on Alabama, or you could be a lot of places around Bellingham, and you're gonna most likely have a view of the bay or one of the 3 lakes. You can go up north, go to the river, and it's just something about it, and I love it, absolutely love it. So that's all I got for you guys here today. Those are my 3 favorite reasons. Now stay tuned for my channel, because in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna tell you the 3 things that I absolutely hate about Bellingham, and there's some 3 really good ones. And no, it's not just the weather and so on and so forth. There's some really great things about our area, and there's some that aren't so great. So keep in touch about that. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video, leave any comments down below, and please guys, if you're looking at moving to the area, please reach out to us, give us a call, text, or shoot us an email. And once again, guys, we'll see you next time.